Now, what do we have here? The most magnanimous master of criminality, Gangstor. Back here again with some news a-brewin', this time on the distant planet of Etheria. But before we get into it, don't be afraid to break some thumbs until they roll over an unhealthy hue of blue from the lack of circulation. While you're at it, grab yourself a pair of bespiked knuckles and start working over that there subscription service button until it's drained of all vital fluids and grayed over deceased. Now, on with the video. It seems that She-Ra might once again be moving her way into the streaming world, only this time in live action. This new project will be over at Amazon's streaming service, and not Netflix, however. Which could be a good sign and rather apropos, I'd say, having Amazon showcase, well, in Amazon. But not all is well in the fandom as fans of the Noelle Stivia Netflix She-Ra revival series have been vocally vociferous as they are voluminous in their vile and venomous vitriol, attacking the very prospect of this project as being invaluable to them, as it's not to have anything to do with the incarnation of She-Ra that they care most about, and is instead set to be apparently its own creation entirely. Or is it? You see, a little jailbirdie just so happened to tweedledee at me and drop a dime about the series, claiming that Noelle Stivia may still be the showrunner for the project, despite the change in distribution, or at the very least involved high up in the production process. Didn't think much of it until I returned to that initial Variety article announcing this new project and read something that happened to slip right past me the first time around. Check it. You see, despite it being on a different streaming service, the production will still have DreamWorks Animation Studios as its executive producer. So, you mean to tell an animation studio is set to be executives over a live-action series or film? That's highly sketch, wouldn't you say? So is there a possibility this adorable abomination will continue to live on only in a live-action form? Maybe. Perhaps so they can get away with things you wouldn't normally be able to get away with in a children's animated cartoon. But who the hell knows? I'm sure this would be great news to some, and horrendous news to others. But considering this thing is still in a pitch/proposal phase, really anything can happen. It's still a long ways to delay. However, I will leave you with this. You may think this is the first time She-Ra will appear in live action, and while technically that would be accurate, there is in fact her inclusion in the traveling stage musical, The Power Tour. While unfortunately not recorded for broadcast, she did in fact appear in the flesh regardless. But, that's nothing. Because get this, you want to see something even crazier, people? If you can believe it, she was actually meant to appear alongside He-Man in the hit 1987 documentary motion picture event for theaters. Here she is, drawn by accomplished artist William Stout, who worked as lead production designer on the project back in 1987, responsible for visualizing all the sets, props, costumes, etc. and so forth. He designed this incarnation of She-Ra to appear within the film. This is what, ultimately, she would have presumably looked like had Canon Pictures and Mattel not both swindled and dwindled the budget for the project down to a pittance, along with slashing the production time down to a hot minute, forcing many, and I do mean many, of the characters to have been cut from the production altogether. Incidentally, tangentially, and coincidentally, at this year's He-Man, She-Ra, and all things MOTU related convention, the PowerCon, expert cosplay mistress Rebecca Cox appeared there as a guest of honor and dressed in full-blown, fully realized, accurately authentic representation of this lost to history incarnation of She-Ra, giving us an even better idea of what this would have looked like had it come to fruition all those many, many years ago. And surreal and unreal as it may seem, here we see the creator meeting his creation as she is posed for a picture alongside the artist William Stout himself. Rebecca, my dolled up dame, you, my dear, have earned some mad respect from the motherfucking Gangstor. I have taken the liberty to photographically shoperize these here images to give us an even better idea of what we missed out on back in the day. What might have been. Here's hoping the new Amazon series She-Ra looks half as good as you do right there, Rebecca. Because you are in fact worthy. However, what's coming down the pipe, well, I'm already skeptical of its worthiness. And as I routinely say, if the shit ain't worthy, you best bid it. Good journey.